Hey guys, today I want you to tell us about the night you two met, okay?
Okay.
And it should actually, for a reference, this is probably about what the two people in this story looked like. Okay,
Okay.
so
You tell your side of the story.
Okay.
I'll tell mine.
Okay.
what brought you there that night,
Stage
Mom?
struck.
Okay. I had a friend,
Mhm.
Sis. Her name was Charlotte. She lived across the hall from me, and she was having a very, very rough time because her mom just passed away. And so I went down around the corner and asked her sister and brother-in-law if they were interested in going to Riverview because that's where they used to go to dance. And
It was
we
a
couldn't
nightclub.
go if we weren't escorted. So I talked Sis into it, and that's what we did. We went down to Riverview.
How far away was it from where you lived?
Oh,
10 miles.
yeah, about 10 miles.
You drove?
I did. They drove and I drove in case we wanted to come home earlier. You know, if they wanted to leave earlier or whatever. Yeah, I drove.
Had you been there before?
No, always wanted to
Yeah.
because I heard it was so cool. Yeah.
Nice. So what transpired to get you there that night, Dad?
Oh, okay. I was home on leave from the Air Force in Florida. And it was my last night. Had to go back to the base the next day. And so my buddy Joe and I, we were stationed together down there, and we were both on leave. So we did something that day, and then we decided to go down to Riverview because my family was down there. It was my last night, and so we got in my car and drove down there, and we were in there, you know, having fun, having some drinks, and Joe looks over at this other table, and he says, "I'm going to ask that girl to dance over there." And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll ask the other one." And so we walked over, and he asked Sis to dance, and I asked her to dance. And it was love at first sight, I think.
And what was the song?
Blue Moon, Elvis Presley.
That's what we danced to.
We danced to that and several others during the night, but that was the biggie. Yeah. And my dad later said, "My gosh, you were draped all over her." You know?
And not
Remember that?
and not knowing his family. When we were dancing, this lady just kept staring and staring. She was dancing. She kept staring at me, and I said, "That redhead just keeps staring at me." And he said, "That's my stepmom." I was Mary Lou. She was checking me out, I guess.
So did you dance more than one dance?
Yeah, a few dances.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And we sat at their table and talked.
Yeah, we
you know,
did that.
got to know each other and all that.
Probably sat at the table a good hour or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think finally my dad came over and said, "Well, we're leaving now. Do you?"
No, you didn't. Just said, they were leaving.
Yeah. But he said something about, "Do you need a ride or something?" I said, "No, you can take my car. You can take my car home." And so later on, when it came time for us to leave, Joe and I looked at each other and said, "Oh, we don't have a car to get home." And so
We discovered that when the four of us were walking outside,
and so we
thinking they were going to their car and we were going to my car.
said, so we said, "Can you guys give us a ride home?" Because we lived half a block away from where they lived.
Yeah, we discovered that's how close we lived.
And what
Nice.
did Sis say?
Well, she didn't say anything until after we dropped you off.
And what'd she say?
She said, "Don't you ever tell anybody that we did this." She said, "Oh my gosh, it just wasn't heard of."
Scandalous.
Yeah. And
Scandalous.
then the next day,
The next day we got together with them for coffee
Had a
or
Coke,
something. Yeah.
So you had told them that you would be leaving,
Yeah.
Uh huh. Yeah.
and Jerry and Sis were getting along at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Joe.
Joe.
And
and
Joe,
Sis.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just had a little drink with them, and they took off, and we went home.
But then we wrote to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was about 3 months
Mhm.
later that I
Right.
got out of the Air Force.
Right.
And came home, and we immediately started going out together. And when I saw her, I said, "That's the girl I want to marry."
I felt pretty close to you pretty quickly too.
So where was the date the day after?
Oh,
I was right in town.
It was.
At-
Wasn't it in a drugstore?
Yeah, it was in a drugstore. We just
Where
sat
they
and
had
had
a
Cokes.
soda
like a
fountain. They had
yeah.
tables. You know, you
So-
could get sandwiches. And
Because
stuff.
they really needed to go. It was already about 3 o'clock, and they hadn't even started yet. And they had, what, 800 miles to go? Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And they were supposed to be back at the base in the morning.
So you had said the night before, let's meet at the soda shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Good, nice.
Yeah.
A
So
non-threatening situation.
that's how it began.
Yeah.
And then the rest?
It's history.
All right, perfect.